If your daughter was being treated the way you're being treated, would you call it love or would you call it a warning sign? You would protect her in a heartbeat, but somewhere along the way, you may have stopped protecting yourself. Quietly, slowly, until you could barely remember what your original standard ever was. That's what self-worth erosion can look like. It's not dramatic, not obvious, just less and less of you being protected. One question can help you see it again, and 5 places to apply it. By the end of these 5 checks, you may finally be able to name what you've been feeling but couldn't explain. Here's your question. Would you be comfortable watching someone you love be treated the way you are being treated? Maybe it's your best friend or your sister. Because sometimes you can see clearly for someone else what you have learned to minimize for yourself. Check number 1. Would you be comfortable watching someone you love be spoken to the way you are being spoken to? The sharp tone, the mean comments, the sarcasm, the eye roll, the way your hurt gets brushed off, mocked, or turned back onto you. I'm not talking about one bad moment. I'm talking about the pattern where he gets to be cruel or careless and you end up acting like your pain is the problem. If you would ache watching someone you love absorb that, why have you decided you should be able to? Here's the second check. Would you want someone you love to stop speaking up about what matters to her just to keep things calm? Notice what you no longer say, what you edit before it leaves your mouth. The needs, opinions, dreams, worries, or disappointments you've stopped bringing up because you already know the reaction. Maybe you call it choosing your battles. But ask yourself honestly, am I choosing peace? Or have I learned that my truth costs too much? Because when your voice keeps getting smaller and smaller, sometimes it is self-protection in a marriage where honesty no longer feels safe. The third check. Would you want someone you love to believe this is all she deserves? It starts sounding like, maybe this is just marriage. Maybe I'm asking too much. Maybe I should be grateful it's not worse. And maybe I'm not worth having the healthy kind of love. But if you heard someone you love say those words, would you believe her? Or would your heart break a little because you could hear how much she had lowered the bar for herself? Check number 4. Would you be okay knowing someone you love felt this alone in her marriage and thought she had to hide it? Maybe from the outside, everything looks fine. The house runs, the bills get paid, the family functions, and yet you feel emotionally alone. You may have someone beside you, but not with you. You may have a marriage that people even idolize, but not a connection you can rest in. And maybe you hide it because you know it would break the hearts of the people who love you to know how lonely you actually are. Loneliness inside a marriage is still loneliness. And the final check. Would you be okay watching someone you love become less herself to survive a relationship? Less direct, less playful, less hopeful, less expressive, more careful, more numb, more focused on keeping the temperature in room than on being fully alive. Sometimes the biggest sign your self-worth has been worn down is not by what he does. It's by who you have become around him. Maybe your self-worth is not gone. Maybe it is trying to get your attention. Now you know where your self-worth stands. The next question is he the reason it got there? And I have one test that answers that. I'll see you there.